Welcome to today's video, and in this video we'll be seeing about how to customize your form checkboxes using CSS. And so the traditional checkbox in CSS, like in HTML, they are too boring and too like old-fashioned, and so it is better if you just use CSS to customize them. And actually customizing them is like a bit difficult if you're just going to look at it in a rare way, but still I can customize it using CSS. So let's just see on how to do that. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to open my text editor, and I already have changed this to a particular folder, and so here is that folder, and this folder contains two images, check and uncheck, and so these images will be appearing when we customize the checkboxes instead of those instead of those boxes that appear usually. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to create index.html file. So I'm going to save it in my desktop in this particular folder, index.html, and I'm just going to create another file named as style.css. .css. Okay, fine. And so let me just link this. Style.css. Okay, fine. And so let me just add about one or two checkboxes in this thing. So checkboxes, they are something like kind of different from other type of input elements. So if I'm going to use something like this, input checkbox, and if I'm going to add a value here, ignore this, I'm just going to open this in my browser. And so here you can see that when I'm going to click this checkbox, this value will get activated, but still when I'm going to click on this value, nothing happens. But when I add this value, this value inside a label element, for example, label, and make sure that you close this label element after this input checkbox and value. Just make sure that both the checkbox as well as the label are inside these label tags. And so when you're going to do like this and refresh this, you can now see that when I click on the value, the checkbox gets activated. So this is like kind of concept that we'll be using in this. And so let me just wrap this value inside a span. Yeah, I love spans. Okay, fine. Let me just add two more. Let me add some logical values. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, fine. So it works perfectly fine now. And so if you're going to see the thing, let me just add a line breaker. I hate this, man. A couple of them actually. Okay, fine. Okay, they look good now, and we are good to go with the CSS. So to get started the CSS part, what you're just going to do is that just add the display property of these three checkboxes to be none. So let me just show you that. So input type equals checkbox, and if you're not familiar with these selectors, just make sure that you just take a look at my previous video, and that is about CSS selectors. And I'll just add an annotation here somewhere in the screen. You can just see it, and okay, that doesn't matter. Let's just continue. So display none, and save this up, and you can see that the checkboxes have now disappeared. And what I'm going to do now is I'll just add use the before pseudo selector for the span right here, and I'll just add the images that are present here. Okay, so let me just show you how to do that. I'm going to use this input type selector, and then I'll just use an adjacent selector to just select the span tag that is present right next to a checkbox, and then plus span. This would mean that this is the adjacent selector, and I'll also use the before pseudo selector. Okay, fine. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to change the content to the image, so content URL, and that would be uncheck. I hope so, uncheck.png. Okay, fine. And so this would just appear when the checkbox is not checked. So let me just show you this works. Refresh it. You can see that this thing appears right here. And there is a kind of like this one is too closely spaced, and that looks ugly. So let me just fix that. like add a margin value here of about like 15 pixels, and let me also change the font. Let me use all selector, font hyphen family of Calibri. I hope the spelling is right, and font hyphen size of about 18 pixels. Okay, fine. Let me just save that and refresh this. Okay, this looks much better, or even 20. Okay, fine. So this looks better now. What we need to do is we just when we just click on this thing, we need to change the like this before thing right here to the check.png. So let me just do that. Input type equals checkbox colon checked, then span before. I hate this, like auto semicolons, whatever they call it. Before to be content URL and check.png, and add the margin values to. So margin hyphen right would be 15 pixels, just the same as the before one. Refresh this and click on it. So you're ready to go now. You can see that whenever I click on this label thing right here, the checkbox item just changes, and this is about customizing the thing. And you can show your own creativity in this by just like creating your own icons and those stuff like that. So you can just change this color using Photoshop, or you can even use like CDNs that are available. There is a CDN called as Font Awesome. Let me just show you that. Font Awesome. These guys right here, they just provide you with like super amazing fonts that you can use as your native CSS thing too. Just go to this get started and you're ready to go. So you can use this CDN too for these icons right here, and they are really awesome. So this is how you could customize your checkboxes, and in a similar way you can also customize your like your radio buttons and every single form element that you could you can think of. So that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching this short video, and thumbs up if you just liked it, and I'll see you in the next one, and please do subscribe. Thanks, bye.